Yo, what's going on guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some Qlash tournament gameplay. I was played in it a few hours ago, facing off against some of the best teams in Europe, that being Codemagic, Purple and Qlash. So some really close games, GG's to all of our opponents. And just before we watch the first game, just like to mention that we also had Drage in this tournament, as normally he's too young to play in these sort of tournaments, but this is one of his times to shine, as he's one of the best players in the world. So I was really excited to play with him to show his level, and he'll be 16 next year, so it'll be pretty OP to see him compete. But yeah, let's just go straight into the gameplay. Alright guys, so the first game we are watching, it's currently 1-1 in this set. It won't let me view the other two games for whatever reason, and the bans were Surge and Gale, so definitely take note of that. And we've gone for the Poco double tank option. They've gone for a control option, as we just faced them kind of with this comp before. Tom actually missing the super there. I think he actually meant to super us both and heal us both up. But we're running this combination especially with Surge and a Gale out of the picture. You can run Poco double tank a lot, because a lot of the comps now in the meta are a lot of control based. So the more aggressive comps, the Poco combination with the heals, it's really hard for control comps to do anything, just because they don't normally have the DPS to do with much. But I'm going to be using Jackie. Jackie's actually not been too good in the meta since the recent nerf. Even though they actually buffed her gadgets, I just feel like she's not as good as she used to be, especially with Max. But we're going to be running this Semantic with the Protective Pirouette. I actually noticed him off guard, and I'm able to sneak that in. I realised I just didn't have enough ammunition to take me down. But the other thing about that, I fed Tara quite a bit to super, but we actually managed to get the goal there, so pretty well played. When facing a Max as a Jackie, you just want to kind of hug the walls, keep position. As you can see by the gadget, you don't actually speed up too fast with Jackie, and I kind of like this change, because before it used to be really fast. You used to be able to close the gap so quick and just take enemies down so easily. So Twisty missing a super, and I think that's going to cost him in the end, because a Tara super is so valuable. You can't afford to waste a Tara super at all. But now we've got so much aggro. Some Bentley goes down, Curse goes down, so only Twisty left on the field, and we're able to take him down. So that's actually 1-0 in that set. As I said, I couldn't actually show the other games because they both weren't in backlog, but that was only 2-1 in that set, but we actually take it. Let's jump into the next game. Okay guys, into the first game of the next set. So Shoulder Bash, a bit of a weird map. We don't really play these games, we don't play this in tournaments because it's not an ESL map. So this is really dependent on your ladder knowledge, because we aren't going to scrim these. We really want to focus on the ESL qualifiers. So just from ladder experience, we know this map is a very tank heavy map. There's a lot of walls which you can hug, and as you can see, I beat the Twisty 1v1 matchup. Semantic gets that one against Cursed, so we're just able to win this one. Pretty simple there. We're able to get the first goal, so pretty good start. In a mirror matchup, it's really hard, especially in a double tank one. It's hard to kind of notice which 1v1 you're winning. But Semantic gets a nice stun on some Bentley there, but he actually misses the super, which kind of cost us, because Curse got a double stun onto it. But Semantic actually managed to stay alive, so Tom's doing really well in the mid, constantly healing Semantic up. Semantic gets pulled, but he's just buying time, but waiting for me to work my way up the map. But Twist is really low. I actually used a gadget then because I thought we was in a bit of trouble, but I'm just going to take this Frank super to the face and just recycle my death over and over again. And now Twist is going in for the kill on Tom, manages to pull him towards, and then Semantic actually missed that super. Probably should have gone on with Frank there, because then Frank didn't really have to use his gadget, and now they're able to score, so a bit unfortunate. They managed to get the equaliser there, a bit sloppy on our end. We just missed a few Frank supers. But nonetheless, we're going up anyway. Some Bentley with the gadget. Curse managing to stun there, but it's all down to Tom if he can get the healing off. But that's a really good Frank super from Curse. He's able to stun Poco as well, which is why they managed to nearly win that matchup. But then we take control, we win that. It's really hard to commentate when it's Poco double tank. There's just so much going on. Semantic with a nice stun, and he nearly manages to wall that in, so really hard. I managed to dodge that. I'm going to go help Tom try and grab the ball, and I'm able to get it, and I'm able to walk it in again. So I managed to get 2 goals there on a Jackie. I don't really play Jackie too much, but a bit chaotic there, and we take that set. Okay, into the next set. So we actually won the other Shoulder Bash game, but it's not showing in my backlog again for whatever reason. But we decided to bring out this Shaddy, and they brought out a Primo to try and counter us, but we managed to win. Really close actually. I wish I could show that game. We only just won. We were literally down for most of the game, but going into this one, Jet unfortunately lags out, but this is the best comp on Backyard Bowl when Gale and Surge are banned, just because Max is so good. Mr. P's really good at countering the long range brawlers like the Brock and the Piper. Piper just isn't that good against Max, and Brock isn't either. Max is able to counter all of them. I think Jetton's having some Wi-Fi issues, unfortunately, but we're still able to take control of that. I wasted a turret there, which is a bit unfortunate, but we still managed to get the goal anyway. So with this comp, it's a bit chaotic. You want to just constantly pair the Max with the Pam as much as possible, and it's all down to the Max and the Pam making the aggressive plays, just because Mr. P isn't really that influential. He's more of a brawler that just kind of sits back and casually builds up his super. Twisty going way too aggro there. There's no way he's going to score against me and Tom in that position, and we're able to then turn that defense into an offense. So I've got another super up. We're just playing passively, waiting for him to respawn. Especially with a wall break, you kind of have to kill all of the enemies at once, or at least get 2 of them down, as you're not going to be able to score. So Semantic doing a really good job. He's able to throw his turret really aggro and take him down. Again, with a max speed, we're able to take advantage, and we're able to score inside of that one. So it's 1-0 in this set. Alright, into the next game of the third set. So if you guys didn't know, obviously it's a Brawl only tournament, and again both teams going for the same comp. So in a mirror matchup, the best team obviously wins. But in this state, I think Twisty went a bit too aggro again. Tom managing to pick up the kill. And Jetton's really low, some Bentley's low, so we're able to team wipe together. And I think there's just like no way they're going to be able to defend this actually. I think I remember we scored. Yeah, we actually managed to slot that in. So actually really close. Twisty nearly managed to take him out. But when 2 teammates die at the same time, it's really hard to get a defense off. So Bentley again going really aggro. I can't afford to kind of contest them because I am Mr. P. I haven't got the damage to take him down. But some Bentley with a nice kill on Semantic. And now they're on the offense. But Tom's doing a really good job of getting some Bentley really low, so he has to go back. That was a bit of an aggressive turret for me. Twisty just absolutely decimated my turret, and now I have nowhere near to my turret. Looks like Jetton's actually lagged out. They could have probably scored, to be honest. They had his pin back. Quite fortunate for Jetton to lag out in that scenario. But able to turn defense into offense again. But Bentley gets a really clutch super pass out, and the bot actually manages to kill me. And imagine if that bot went in to score there. That would have been the most hilarious thing ever. I think I would have just deleted the game on the spot if the bot was able to score there. So as you see by my angry emote, I was like, there's no way a bot just actually killed me there. But they've got us on the offense. Jetton's actually back after lagging out. So again, we've got 1 minute left. We're working to chip them down. Twisty goes down again, and Tom manages to get a kill. So only some Bentley on the field again, but all of us are super low. So we're just going to heal up, going to wait for them to respawn. I'm close to the turret again, so I'm able to throw that off. And Tom with the speed there. All of them are pretty low. We're managing to get them down again. Semantic's going really aggro on the Mr. P, which is what Pam wants to do. Mr. P just hasn't got the DPS to deal with it, and Pam obviously absolutely shreds her opponents. And we're able to get, Tom's able to get a double kill there, and I'm able to walk it in. So we're able to get the clean sweep on Codemagic in that one. Alright guys, into the first game against Qlash. So these are the final games. The first map was actually triple dribble. We're able to pick up the win, but I didn't play in it because we're rotating, as I said. We've got 4 of us, so I'm on a call. Again, I'm not even the best call at all, but I'm just not too competent on the Frank. So we're able to get a team out there. Drage playing really well, and so is Tom. So the thing is with Poco, and especially playing against a control comp, you've got the Poco gadget and you've got the spam of heals. So you want Poco to go on the Frank side, and you're just able to get so much control. Sandy's not going to be able to deal with us too well. Mr. P's got turret though, so it's going to be a bit annoying for Frank to keep dealing with, especially with the gadget. But Tom, with his gadgets and his constant healing, Frank's going to stay alive for so long. Drage probably a bit too aggressive with that super there, because Guillet's able just to shred him down really simply. But I think they're going to score here. Frank's really hard to deal with this. If it was any other brawler but Frank, we would have defended that. But it's really well played from Guillet, playing a bit passively, healing up to tank 1 shot, and he's able to score there. So really well played from Guillet there. I called to switch up just because Max against a Frank, especially on an open lane, it's going to be really hard to deal with. Munez is going to be healing up there. He only just stays alive, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to get shredded anyway, and he's able to die. So in this scenario, actually nearly managed it. Actually, no, Drage actually scored. I thought he didn't actually score there, but as you can see, he sneaks it in. Drage is one of the best goal scorers in the world, so he's able to clutch up in that one. So that's 1-0 in this set. Let's jump into the next game. Alright guys, into the next game of this set. So as I said, currently 1-0 up in this set and 1-0 up overall in sets. And I forgot to mention the bans were the same again. There was Surge and Gale, because they're the 2 most broken brawlers by far right now. They're definitely 1 or 2 on the list. So Drake's going to go down. Gia playing a really good Frank, but Tom's able to take the Cole down. And in this moment, I managed to actually get the ball and clear it off. I still would have got 100% a goal there. Gia actually wastes his wastes his super there, so really good for us. Drage has super, so at the minute we're in a good scenario, but Munoz actually has his super, but Tom manages to cancel that, and I managed to super up. We've got a lot of position here, and I think we actually managed to score here. Yeah, there's no way we don't score in this scenario, so actually taking the 1-0 up in this one. Tom actually wasting a bit of time just because we've got the more of the overtime comps, so we're able to pick up the first goal inside of that one. When it's Poco, when it's these Poco comps, it's kind of hard to explain your reason behind things. It's really about in the moment, just constantly being aggressive and getting them plays. So Drage's going to miss his super, and Guille's going to be able to win this 1v1 matchup, I believe. Yeah, because I think Drage actually used his gadget a little bit too late then. He used it when he was already dead, which is a bit unfortunate, but we managed to take down Chaos. But I actually, a bit of an error on my side, I should have just focused on the ball, and Guille's able to get that, but we've still got a minute left. It's still 1-1, so a bit of a bad play on my area, but as I said, still got a minute left. Drage has super, but I think Guille's actually got all of his gadgets, or 2 gadgets left, and Drage actually has none. So Guille able to cancel that one down, and he's able to cycle his super again, and Drage actually has no gadgets left, so it's a bit of a rip on our side of things, just because a Frank versus Frank matchup, when you've got no gadgets left, it can be really hard. So I'm going to pass it off and heal, and then clear it. So Binder's a bit of time there, which is pretty epic, but Guille again, he's still got a gadget left, so he's able to win the Frank 1v1 interaction, and they're able to score. So a bit unfortunate. Guille played absolutely incredible inside of that one, so we lose that game in that set, 1-1. Let's jump into the next. Alright guys, into the next game. So it's currently the third set, we're 2-0 up again, so in a really good position on the Galaxy Arena. Again, this map on ladder, it's a lot about ladder experience, and we just know B is insane on this map. It's one of B's best maps just because of how open it is. She can keep chaining the supers over and over again, and Sandy's really good on this map. You've got likes of Ems, Tara, Cole. There's not really too much you can play on this, but Drage playing absolutely amazing on the B. He's one of the best Bs in the world, so I can definitely put trust in Drage doing well there. But Semantic definitely should have came up there, because I could have passed it to him. I remember calling, I can pass it to him and he can just walk it in. But I think he was scared to feed Tara, but she's inevitably going to get super up anyway, and we would have guaranteed a goal. But anyway, we're able to keep control. Sandy on the left lane, I feel like I should have gone on the right lane inside of this one. That's when we switched. We kind of switched the matchup in the next one. Sandy against Tara, I'm going to have the better matchup, just because I can wall peek much better. Tara's really bad at wall peeking, and she hasn't really got the immediate damage that Sandy has, so we're able to get the kills here. We don't want to push an Ems or super, it's a bit dumb. We just want to keep your position here. But Drage has big shot, he has his super, so he's in the best position possible. He manages to get a clip on the Munoz there, but as you can see, everyone's just sitting behind the wall, everyone just healing up inside of this one. So I think what I'm waiting is for someone to make an aggro play. Semantic again, he's just going to wait. He's playing really passive, we're going to be charging it up. Guille, I imagine he's close to super because he's starting to make more of an aggressive play. But I managed to sneak in, get a couple of shots to my super, which manages to get a bit of control. Drage getting some nice shots on Chaos there. Chaos goes down. Guille's going to be close to super, but we're going to be going in. Semantic with a nice double kill, and we're able to get the goal. So really well played from us. They just pushed up and kind of fed us too much. So we're able to get a goal there. 40 seconds left. Chaos has super though, and there's just basically no way I'm going to be able to survive that. It's a bit unfortunate, especially with max speed. If she didn't have max speed, probably been able to save that. But Drage manages to actually go up there. Guille somehow gets a snipe on him. I have no idea how that hit him from there. But Semantic going to go try for the goal. Nearly manages to actually get that. But 20 seconds left. I don't want to rush things. I'm actually going to go down to this Ems super again. Ems super is still really broken. I don't feel like Ems is actually good in the meta right now, just because of a gadget. A gadget's been nerfed so much, she's just really not a good brawler at this moment in time. But 10 seconds left, we're in a really good position. We're actually getting pinned back. All of it's pretty low, so it's going to be hard for us to really do anything. But they actually managed to get a goal here. Taraway's super, but literally with 1 second left, they're able to clutch up. So a bit bad from us to let them push up. But being overtime, we knew we're going to have a lot of success. We just needed Drage to pop off. Drage can focus on the Ems and the Tara, and literally none of them brawlers outranges, except for Ems. Ems kind of outranges Sandy a bit, but B in overtime is probably the best brawler you can possibly have. So if you lose this, you would say you kind of noob, because B, as I said, just really well. Drage one of the best Bs, and he's able to just absolutely carry us inside of this one, and we're able to pick up the win. So 1-0 up in this set, 1 win away from taking the whole tournament. Alright guys, into the next game then. So 1 win away. from literally winning the whole tournament. We played so well in this, so actually keeping the same combination. We thought that Sandy was really well, but Ems is actually really good against Sandy because of the outrange. I'm just going to be constantly feeding this Ems. I want to be trying to get my super, but it's literally impossible unless I get up to the wall, which Chaos has done a really good job of keeping me back. Guille playing an amazing B. He's one of the best Bs in the world as well, but I'm just going to be charging into him just to try and get a respawn and try and build up my super, as when I get my super we can start chaining our supers over and over again. But they've got good position. That's a really important shot on Chaos. It makes me able to take him down. Moon is going to be a little bit aggro, but a bit he's just feeding me super, so I don't know why he's really doing that. He needs to wait for his teammates to come up. So once he gets a nice kill on Munez there, so we're able to get some position. Everyone is down on their side of things. We do actually switch to matchup, not really too sure why, and then Chaos able to get me down there. I thought Chaos was going to go sneak up and try and get down Drage, so I pop my gadget but die. I'm not really the best Sandy, don't really play Sandy too much inside of comp, but he's not really the hardest brawler to play. But really nice tank from Drage with the gadget, and that's one way to play B really well. So if you get hit by a B and you just know you're going to get hit by a 3k, you just place a gadget, you can tank the 3k shot, and then B won't have another 3k shot there. So as you can see, I actually clutched up there. Instead of just aiming to kill Chaos, I actually just run through Chaos and get Guille down, and that completely stops their push, and we're able to gain position, and we've got the super to pin him back. So in a minute, we're in a really good position. Drage getting some nice shots on Guille, but Chaos with his super. Ems, as I said, still really good with her super, especially when she has 3 gadgets left. I'm just trying to stay alive here, and as you can see, I'm literally on 600 HP, but I'm able to keep dodging and weaving and gaining positioning back. So in that moment, I remember saying I felt like John Wick there, just dodging shots left and right. But I'm able to keep positioning. 30 seconds left. You probably say they definitely have the better overtime comp, just because Max outranges Carl and me, and Ems basically outranges me as well. So in this scenario, we're trying to kind of force a goal, just because we know we're not going to be that great in overtime. I'm trying to build up my super. I think that's the only way we're going to manage to win. So I actually get pinched down there, but 15 seconds left. Drage with a nice kill on MZ. He actually nearly kills Guille as well. That would have been pretty epic. Probably would have been able to score there, but it's going into overtime. As I said, it's going to be really hard for us to win inside of this one, just because of how good Max and B are combined in OT. So as you can see, it's all down to kind of Drage again. I haven't got the range to compete at all, unless I just juke about 50 shots and get close and personal. But Guille able to get a shot at me, able to get 3k. So I'm just trying to not feed really. I'm trying to catch him off guard, but it's so hard. As you can see, I actually managed to get 2 shots on Munez, so I believe I'm like 1 shot away from my super. Really close. Munez is chasing me down, but I'm able to dodge a few shots and heal up a little bit, but he's still able just to keep chipping me down over and over again. Smantic on the long range. Carl really isn't the best in the open. It's actually kind of hard to consistently hit your shots. You can actually get like maybe 1 pickaxe at a time here. So again, 19 seconds left. We're actually in a good position. All of them are pretty low. I've got my Sandy super, so we're in a good position here. Smantic goes probably a bit too aggro. I actually go down, and Smantic goes down as well, and we definitely just force that goal. That's one thing you don't want to do. You may as well just play it out for the draw instead of risking it, and they're able to actually get the goal there. So definitely a bit sloppy on our side of things. So 1-1 in this set. Let's jump into the next game. Alright guys, into the next game of this set. So before this we actually drew, but it was 3 minutes 30 long, so I don't really want to show it as the video is going to be going too long. But just going to say, we actually went the same comp again, but then we switched off to Mr. P, just because Mr. P deals with B and M's really well. But the other thing is, apparently you weren't allowed to swap during a draw situation, but we didn't actually see it in the rules, so I was a bit confused at the end of this game as to why we lost it, but somehow enabling it to manage to save that. Drage playing really well in that scenario. Came off really clutch. That was near enough a guaranteed goal, but now we've got Mr. P's turret. It's going to do really well against the B in the mid. So again, Mr. P is going to be really good against the M's here. I was kind of wondering like where the hell is Chaos, because I'm literally shooting around everywhere, but he was more in mid. It's kind of nice to see what was happening in this replay, but Chaos is going to be going really aggro. As you can see, he's using the hype style power, and he's going to be running into the Mr. P turret, because he's going to get healing from the porter and the turret, so that's already 2 forms of healing. And then if you get someone in that super, you're going to get 3 forms of healing, so pretty insane. You definitely got to be careful to not give too much value when Ems is running the hype style power. But On my lane again, I'm going to be using an aggressive Mr. P turret, and I'm going to be able to take Muniz down there, so managing to catch him off guard. And then I use my gadget because I'm going to be able to take down Guille, and we're able to score. So really well played from myself there for once. I'm actually able to get a double kill and force the goal in that situation. So we've got the max speed. Again, Ems isn't going to be the best against Mr. P at all. I'm just going to cycle my supers over and over again. There's basically like no way she's going to win this matchup unless she gets like a max speed and she's able just to run straight at me, or if I miss loads of shots in a row and she's somehow able to get positioning. But I think in this scenario I'm pretty good right now. So Drake actually manages to go down, but we do a really good job of giving cover fire. Guille is playing an amazing B. He's constantly getting shots on Drake to charge up his big shot. Chaos trying to go through the Mr. P portal and get some shots on me, but I'm able to get him down really low. Again, it's literally one shot, and just force the kill there. Drake with a nice shot on Guille, and it's only Muniz alive, but Muniz does a really good play. It's hard to shoot across the map. If I got one shot on him, I would have killed him. So a bit of a choke on my side of things. Probably should have finished the kill off, but 15 seconds left. Again, they score late, which is a bit sloppy on our end, just managing to go down at the wrong times. But in overtime, again, we probably have the better comp. They've got Ems in overtime, we've got Mr. P, and we've got his porters. So Chaos actually going really aggro there with his max speed, but I managed to evade it in time. I thought I was going to die there, but Drake got a really nice 3k shot on him. And in this position, obviously, we've got the better chances of scoring, but we don't want to force anything. I actually, for some reason, auto-aimed and it went backwards. I don't even know why I auto-aimed it. Literally went backwards. I remember like flipping out there. But SpenLC with a nice pass across to me, and I'm able to super shot that in. So we actually managed to win that set, but in the end we got told that we weren't allowed to switch brawlers during that, so we actually get the set loss. So we're actually going into a fourth set. Let's jump straight into it. Alright guys, going into the second game of the fourth set. So they actually won the first one pretty comfortably. We used Jean, and it just really didn't work against a B and a Mr. P. We got absolutely clapped in that one, but I don't want the video to go on for too long, and it's just going to be the gameplay of us just getting spawn traps over and over again. So we switch out the Jean for the B in mid, but they've got a really aggressive comp. They've got the Max, the Cole, really good combination, and they're able to get a goal literally immediately. So all of us going down at the wrong time, really badly played from us. I think was just really angry at the fact that we chose to change our comp when we were winning, so which actually cost us the third set. We actually would have got another sweep. So Drake able to pop off a little bit. He's able to get a few kills, well, one kill actually, and really good positioning. We've got Drake with B. B's able just to dominate this mid. Again, this is a map we don't play for the ESL qualifiers, and it's just a lot of ladder knowledge. This is literally one of B's best maps on ladder, so the neutral is going to be good. The only thing you have to be worried about is the Mr. P, but Drake able to spot an opportunity and score. As I said, Drake literally is one of the best goal scorers I've seen in Brawl Stars. He's just able to know so many different situations and scenarios, and it's a pretty good job that he's not of age to play in the ESL games, because he'd be one of the best players in the world for sure. But Semantic actually manages to go down. I've got to be careful because Carl with supers just going to absolutely destroy me, so definitely got to keep my distance. But again, they're working a pinch really well. They're kind of counter compers. I feel like B's just not very good against the Mr. P mid and the Carl. So Gear's able to clutch up, get Semantic really low there. I managed to go down to Muniz, and in this scenario, Guille and Muniz are really low, but they're definitely in the best position here. Drake's going to be trying to get the shot on Chaos in mid, but 45 seconds left. We actually got a bit of times in our hand, but again, Muniz with the speed. Guille's got super, and there's just no way I'm going to be able to survive here. So they forced a matchup change. They had complete control. There's basically nothing we could do in that scenario, but they actually got a free shot at goal there. A bit frustrating. So they're able to pick up the set win that one. Alright guys, going into the fifth and final set. So this map, I absolutely hate this map. Again, another map with a lot of walls, so very tank heavy. This isn't a map we play again in the ESL qualifiers, so it's a lot of ladder experience. It's going into the fifth set, so Drake has subbed out instead of Tom there. So Tom with the Poco is probably the best Poco in the world. I actually play a really good Jack inside of his games. I pull the Poco towards us so we can get more hits on him. Semantic with a failed super. That was a big rip. We probably would have got the goal there, but in them situations when stuff goes wrong, you just don't panic. You just keep your position and keep your cool. So Muniz with the ball. I don't know why he's actually hugging the ball there. I'm able just to get some extra shots on him. Tom is going to be able to heal me. So in this scenario, I know that I'm going to score. They've just completely left me on their own. I'm not too sure why Muniz didn't use his super. He definitely could have stopped that from going in there if he had help from Poco. He could have stunned me, and there's just no way I would have been able to score there. So Guille again, Semantic, they're just going to be going at it, constantly popping the gadgets over and over again. But that's a nice pass up from Tom. I would have scored there, but that's a really clutch super from Muniz. That was really well played from him. He completely stopped the goal there, else I would have scored, because there's no way Poco can deal the amount of damage to get me down. So Guille with a super, he's able to score that pretty easily. So it's 1-1 at the moment. Guille plays an amazing Frank, probably one of the best Franks I've actually seen. So GG's to him. But this scenario again, Tom has heals, so I can play a bit more aggressive. Semantic going to go for the super. I feel like Guille, actually no, I thought he ran out of gadgets there, but Guille actually popped his gadget too late. Semantic was able to get a few more shots on him. Muniz with a good cancellation, but I'm just going to keep going in over and over again, charging my supers, keep pulling people towards us, and we're able to get the goal inside of this one. There's just no way Guille is going to be able to kill us as long as I dodge the Frank super. So we're able actually to win that one. One more game away from finally finishing this over. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so going into the next game, this is actually match point, and we kind of know that Qlash are a little bit stubborn with their comps, so they probably would have thought the same. The other thing about Frank is so risky to go Frank again, because there's literally so many different counters. You only really play Frank with a Poco double tank comp, so we know that we're going to more than likely play a Frank, and if they weren't going to play Frank, they're probably going to play a BB or something along those lines. I'll pass to Semantic, but we actually managed to go down there, and somehow Frank actually gets the super off there. I have no idea how I was in that range. I kind of find that, I don't know about you guys, but I find a lot of the time, I'm like, how the hell did a Frank actually get that super off? It's kind of insane, but I get all of them pulled towards me. I know with Tom's Poco healing, I'm going to be staying alive for such a long time. Semantic as Primo is the biggest hold cancel comp you will ever see in your life. Just because he's got the 3 gadgets that can cancel Frank's super. He's got his super that he's going to be able to cancel Gear with, and it's basically impossible for us to lose this matchup because Primo literally counters all 3 of them. Gear with a sad face, he basically knows it's over just because of how much of a hard counter Semantic is to them. So he's able just to change supers over and over again. It must be so fun to play Primo when you've just got this much of a hard counter, but I'm able to get the goal there. So 1-0 again. Semantic's got super. It's basically nothing these guys can do unless they somehow manage to get like a clutch stun on Semantic and able to gain positioning. But Semantic's going to be going in aggro again, and I'm able to get a trick shot goal. So there's literally nothing they could do in that scenario. So GG's to Qlash, they played really well, and GG's to Codemagic. Okay guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed some really high level gameplay. We don't actually get too many tournaments often, so it's good to show this type of level. And actually playing with Drage, super fun games. So definitely GG's to all of the teams, and big thanks to my teammates for playing really well, and Kana, our coach. But we managed to take home €500 and a phone that costs around $1,000, so pretty good outcome in the end of things. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. We've got the qualifiers in a week's time, so definitely look forward to them videos. We'll be looking to qualify again. We're on absolutely fire at the minute and playing super well, so definitely keep in touch with that. That's going to be the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.